Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth are looking set to sign for Derby County, as has been reported very much so over the course of the last few weeks. And even more so now with the report from Pete O'Rourke that both Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth were at the Derby County training ground on Thursday to finalise their free transfers from Blackburn Rovers. Now, it is my understanding that Derby County have obviously been discussing with Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth over the course of the last few weeks, and we know that this link has been going on for a while, and we knew as soon as Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth were potentially available that John Eustace was interested in that deal taking place. Now, obviously, there's a lot of things that can come from this, and obviously both players, in my opinion, are going to be very good moves for Derby County, and I believe are definitely upgrades on the players that we had in those positions before. You look at Andreas Weimann over Nathaniel Mendez-Lang, you look at Danny Batth over someone like Sonny Bradley, and in my opinion, if we compare and contrast from this time last year to obviously now, I think it's very, very much an improvement. Now, we're going to discuss this a little bit more in this video, but if you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But shall we get? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, obviously, Danny Batth is a very experienced central defender who's played across a range of different teams in the EFL, as well as even in the Premier League. Now, for me, I believe that Danny Batth is certainly, I'm not going to say he's sort of a step up, but I certainly believe he offers something more than what we had at this point last season. I certainly believe he's one of those players who is really going to help Derby County improve. You look at the introduction of the B team and you look at some of those youth prospects coming through in that centre-back position. You've got the likes of Dan Cox, the likes of Kai Robinson, who in my opinion, even the likes of Jake Rooney, who in my opinion will learn a lot from a player like Danny Batth, as well as the likes of Matt Clark. Now, obviously there's Sondre Langas in there as well, who's a very, very good defender, but is still very early in his career and could learn as well. So it's one of those for me where I think these moves are, I think they're very smart moves in terms of looking at the club in general rather than just looking at the first team. Now, I believe that if we was to play a game tomorrow and these players both signed, I believe both would be starting 11 players. And I think maybe even John Eustace believes the same. Now, obviously, there is a lot of ongoing talk in regards to that of Patrick Agyemang, who Derby County submitted a $7 million bid for a couple of days ago, as per that of Dom Dietrich from BBC Radio Derby. But I just think that when you're bringing in those experienced players, when you're bringing in that type of talent, I think it's very important that you get the right bang for your buck, essentially. And I think with Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth, you can't go much better at this level in terms of what they can bring and the experience that they have and the positions that they play. Obviously, Andreas Weimann is a very, very versatile forward, can play on the left, can play on the right, can play as a number 9, also in that number 10 role as well. And I think that's very important for Derby County heading into this season. We heard from John Eustace at the Fans Forum that he wanted Derby County to be adaptable this season, and I think signing a player like Andreas Weimann certainly does that, especially with the range of different positions that he can play. You look at someone like Danny Batth as well, it gives the opportunity for maybe a Jake Rooney to go and play out at right back. It gives the opportunity for a Kane Wilson to move up to right wing back or even right wing, and it also gives you that opportunity of playing a back 3 or a back 4. And I think all of these things are really important heading into this 2025-26 season. Now, obviously for me, if we just think about what the depth chart looks like at the moment, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, especially in that midfield area. We certainly need a couple more creators. You look at those wide areas as well, and we certainly need extra strength and depth there, and that's sort of where Weimann comes in. But I certainly believe there's probably a little bit more that needs doing as well. I think if you look at those options, you look at Caden Jackson, you look at Corey Blackett-Taylor, obviously Andreas Weimann, if he steps into that role, I think it's certainly a good group, but I think it just needs that little bit more firepower. Now, there's obviously been a lot of discussions over recent weeks about the potential signing of Tyrese Dolan. It was noted a few days, well, probably at the start of this week, that Derby County did have an interest in Tyrese Dolan, and obviously with him being a free agent, it wouldn't surprise me if talks have already been held, because obviously when you're a free agent, you can literally do what you want. Now, there has been some discussion in regards to this Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth move that sort of potentially opens the door to that Tyrese Dolan one as well, in the fact that Derby County are waiting until the 1st of July to discuss announce these moves in regards to those players who are going to be out of contract with other clubs. And whether that's the case or not, I'm not entirely sure. We're obviously still awaiting a decision from Liam Thompson as well as I sit here today. And if I just go and refresh Twitter and things like that, I still don't think we have any sort of decision made there in terms of that. But we'll obviously have to wait and see what happens with that one. Obviously, it would be nice to keep Liam Thompson. I think he'd be a really good option in that midfield area, but obviously it's one of those where if Derby County want to improve and want to get better, does Liam Thompson fit the mould of what John Eustace wants? Obviously a really hard worker and in my opinion a good player, but is he the player that you want in that sort of area if you want to try and be battling for promotion and a playoff push, which we could potentially be doing next season? And I'm not saying we're going to be battling for promotion. I said this in my live stream talking about the fixture release, but I do think it's something that certainly does need to be discussed when you think, can Derby County really push those teams around them? And I think with signings of Weimann, signings of Batth, you look at Carlton Morris, you look at the potential for Patrick Ajimang as well. I think it's very, very good moves. You look at Tyrese Dolan, if we get that one over the line, another brilliant move by Derby County. Now, obviously, we are going to have to wait and see sort of how it all shakes out come September, which will be sort of a very, very interesting guide. But it's one of those for me where you just don't really know where you sit until the season starts. And I think early on in this season, just gone, like there was one point where I made a video discussing a potential playoff push because I think we picked up 12 points in 9 games. We were sitting 7th in the league. I think we were level on points with those playoffs, and then all of a sudden it just all came crashing down. And I think when it comes to John Eustace, I think we've got a different sort of problem to face about whether we have the quality in the building or not. Whereas I think under Paul Warne, it was a case of I don't think the management structure had the ability to do what they needed to do in order to keep Derby in the division, let alone keep them in a playoff push. Now, obviously that's something which a lot of people argue and things like that. But for me, this is going to be some very, very good moves from Derby. Once Weimann and Danny Batth get over the line, I think it starts to make Derby County's depth look a lot better. You've got experience in there. You've got some young talent as well in the likes of Kane Wilson and Kenzo Heldmine. You've also got the likes of Jake Rooney and Dejon Brown in and around the building. And it will be interesting to see which of those young talents that are in the 21s or the 18s now get the potential opportunity to move up to the first team for the trip to Austria, which is just a couple of weeks away. Now, obviously, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And if you have not done so already, head on over to the Derby County raffle. Make sure you get your tickets. I believe the shirt will be released at the end of next week, and then once that is released, we will be a few weeks away from the draw, which will happen before the first game of this season. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, get yourself some tickets in there, and I will catch you in my next video, which will probably be tomorrow afternoon, but you'll have to wait and see on that one. Now, obviously, if you have not done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.